Back at the office again. You'll notice that there's a candle on the edge of my desk there. For anyone that's curious, maybe wondering why, basically, we've been doing a little bit of early spring cleaning here at the house, and I have a ton of candles. My wife, my wife loves candles, and we have basically just a household full of them that needs to just basically free up space. We have boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes. So I'm making it a point of just during my writing sessions and times in my office, just to burn through them, just light the candle, burn through it, just to basically get rid of it. Um, I've toyed with the idea of just not turning my lights on for a month and just using candles instead just to save on electricity costs. But I don't know how that would work. Just walk around my house with a little candle holder there, like I'm in the 17th century or something. But yeah, so back at the office, just the session today was okay. It went okay. I'm in the middle now, so it's always a challenge. Middles are always a bit of a challenge. It's more so just with the prose side of things, not so much with the more structural issues. The structural it seems fine. It's just the prose. The story's kind of the telling of the story is starting to come a little bit flat. There's no pizzazz in the prose, I guess. Um, it can be frustrating this part of the process. It really can. Uh, I was thinking back to though a quote from Muhammad Ali when he was talking about training. It's a quote. If you ever go to like any kind of like gym, or I, I, I swear any like hole in the wall gym in America has this quote. It's a picture. It'll be like a picture of Muhammad Ali, and the quote will be right beneath him, and it will say, I hated every minute of training, but I told myself, do it, and you'll be a champion forever, right? um, or something to that effect. Admittedly, I'm paraphrasing it, but that's basically what the quote is. Um, what's interesting though is that's kind of the perfect summation though of what writing is, because we often, or at least I do, I often say you need to enjoy the process, right? You need to take pride in the process of doing this. You need to enjoy it. You can't just hate writing, be miserable, and only get satisfaction when you're done and when you're getting your work out, and you won't be happy until someone publishes it, right? You have to enjoy the process as well. And yet I think that when I say that, perhaps sometimes it's misunderstood, or and I guess this is true of anybody. I'm not the only one that says this. um, Loving the process does not mean that you don't also hate it in a different way, right? Kind of like the comparison of the training, right? Muhammad Ali, right? He hated training, right? He hated getting up in the morning and training every day, but he did become a champion, right? So yeah, he hated actually getting up and doing it, right? There are days, certainly many days, where I hate getting up, or even after work, coming, to the page after work, my mind's fried, and I hate doing that, right? I hate the circumstances surrounding the training. But the training itself you still love. Even Muhammad Ali, says he hated the training. He still enjoyed it. Like he still enjoyed, hitting the bag. He still enjoyed doing the speed work. He still enjoyed the actual act of boxing and fighting, right? But yeah, there's a lot of arduous work that's involved with it that's absolutely miserable, and that's okay. You can find that part to be miserable as well. You can still love the process, but also find that parts of it are arduous and parts of it suck and that you hate it, if the overall thing in the process of the overall thing you enjoy a lot. It's a very, very important point to be understood here. You don't have to always be in the camp of loving it. You don't always have to be in the camp of hating it either. um, you can hate it. It's okay to not want to get up at 5 a.m. in the morning to write. It's okay not to want to get to the page at 5 p.m. in the evening and write. You can hate it. You can be miserable. You can hate doing it every time. But if you are doing it because you love the book, because you want to see this book come to life, that you have this idea that needs to be seen, that people need to read, or at least you feel is worthy enough of your time and effort, then you sort of put it in there. You kind of suck it up and you go through it. Um, Very, very important. The fun and the joy of it will come in moments throughout the process. It's like a job, right? It's like those jobs that you hate, where and I know we've all worked them. There are jobs that we absolutely hate, but there were moments in those jobs, every now and then that you were like, wow, this was a really good day. I can't believe this was an awesome day. I found myself just last week thinking that I would have probably just gone through this whole day for free. If you told me, hey, listen, you're going to go through this day again, but I'm not going to pay you, I would have done that job for free that day because I had such a good session with so many people in my day job. It's the same thing. It can be arduous. It can suck. It's okay. Loving the process does not mean loving every minute of it. It does not mean that you aren't even daily getting hating hating just getting to the page and trying to make time for it. But there needs to be certain parts of it that you do love, certain elements of it that you do enjoy. There has to be a reason for the suffering, and it needs to be more than just getting the book done. Many authors hate the writing. Many, many, many authors hate writing books. It's very perplexing. They're very drawn to them. Authors are very drawn to writing books, but they also hate the very thing they're drawn to. It's perplexing. Um, so I hope that helps a little bit. You know, I always feel worried that my ideas are sometimes misunderstood. The things I advocate for sometimes are misunderstood. Um, a shameless plug: tomorrow, I'm going to be talking about NaNoWriMo on the Authors Bantering podcast that I do there. Um, so stay tuned for that because I often lament against it. Hopefully that podcast will clear the air on my feelings towards it and why I do. And so whenever I give advice like this, I always want to take time every now and then to kind of clarify my points. And today I was like, all right, I have to clear. I heard that quote this morning, and I was like, okay, good. This is a good way of explaining love in the process, but also hating having to do it at the same time, because it does seem very, very paradoxical. So with that, I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you all tomorrow. I'll be there with the Authors Bannering podcast, and I'll also be posting the Ready for Day vlog as well tomorrow. So see you all then.